Hello everyone, my name is Marcio Coelho, and today we are gonna see a demonstration on how to use MVC to query a database model using Ajax and JQuery and displaying the results in a partial view. Just as an introduction here, we can see here an action or a method named index with Ajax parameters. That's receive a parameter, actually two parameters, but we're just going to use one here since it's just a demonstration. And if something is being passed, then I'm going to filter by that message or that parameter being passed. Otherwise, I'll return everything from the model. And the return of this action is going to be displayed in a partial view that's named underscore index. And I'm gonna pass to that partial view a model. Here is a quick view of a partial view of the partial view named underscore index. And on the top, we need to make a reference to that model we just saw on the controller. And then I'm eliminating here the display of the headers of the partial view, but I'm showing here the loop. There is a loop. We loop into the model by item, returning here 4 columns, and then I'm going to loop until the end based on the quantity of rows returned. The index view also has a reference to the TBL conversation. I have here the reference to the jQuery and the Ajax JS file that we use for this demo. In a real scenario, we know these two files should be on the proper configuration file. And over here we have a search by ID. That's a text box where the user is going to enter the message or the data he want to filter by. We are just filtering by one item here, but you can filter as many items as you want. And then you have the submit button here, get filtered data. And the result of this data, as we saw on the controller, is going to be displayed in a partial view, and the partial view will be displayed on this view under this div database data. Again, the controller return a partial view to the underscore index partial view and is going to return the model. And here where the Ajax call is done, as we can see, the $sign here is a shortcut for jQuery. We are getting the document, making sure it is ready, and then when the document is ready, an anonymous function is being created. And then here we created to check the click of the button, the btn get filtered data. And this $sign here means jQuery go there and get the control, the object whose ID is btn get filtered data, and then get the click for that. And with the click, we created another anonymous function. On this anonymous function that goes this whole thing here. First, I build a quick array here of the data parameter. In our case, we are looking for whatever was entered on the search by text box. Again, that's the ID, the $sign to get the ID. What the parameter I really don't care about right now since it's just a demo. Then you are returning the Ajax. The Ajax is going to get the data from the controller TBL conversation and from the action index with Ajax parameters. The type is get, the data is this data here, this array of data here, the data type is HTML. On success, I'm gonna go on the div of the index view and populate the underscore index partial view into that div, and that's it. Last but not least, I'm actually checking the key down event here, and if the user press enter, that's the key code 13, I'm gonna force a click of the get filtered data so the user doesn't need to click on the search, I just press enter and the data will be displayed. Let's get to the code. Right now we have here the demonstration. Here's the page, the index view. There is some data. There is the menu that comes from the main layout page. And then what we're demonstrating here is Ajax with parameters using jQuery and partial views. So we have the site. Let's click here on search. This was setting down here for quite a bit. Yeah, so you get the result from the search. So right now let's change this to something else. Let's say Coelho, and I'm not going to click on the search button. I'm going to press enter. Boom, the data is there. The page was not refreshed, only the partial view was refreshed. So I came here, let's say I press Johnny again, I got the data. The page does not refresh, and that's the beauty of using Ajax on we are demonstrating here in MVC, but could be in classic ASP or ASPX. It works in the same manner. If I don't enter anything and I press enter, then I'll get the whole data from that demo TBL conversation page. Model, right? And then if I come here, press site, then I filter over there. So that is the demonstration. And let's look at the code here, starting from the controller. What you saw on the PowerPoint, we have here partial view results being returned, partial view, returning the view. The partial view is named the underscore index, and we are passing the model. We are receiving parameters. We are actually work with this one for demonstration purpose only. And then our model here is we getting a list, declaring a list here. And then if there is something being passed, then I filter by that, otherwise I return everything. So that is basically the controller. And then let's look here on the partial view. We have here the declaration on the top of the TBL conversation model, and then here I'm declaring the headers for that model, and then over here I'm doing my loop on the model based on the data filtered until here. So the partial view simply has the model itself as you can see here, and the real work here is done by the index view. Again, we have these two JS file here that should be moved on the real scenario to the proper configuration file. Then you have quick data here on the top, does not mean anything. Then you have the search by, is a text box where the user will enter the data he is filtering or he or she is searching for. And we have the option the user can click on the button, the btn get filtered data if he or she wants, and then the result will be displayed on this GIF database data. Let's see how this is done. Here again on jQuery, $ shortcut document ready. The document is ready. You create an anonymous function to observe the click of this ID here, of this object ID bottom get filtered data. The pound sign means the jQuery will look for the ID. We will look for the click function. And then here I'm setting up an array with the parameters. What we really are working on this demonstration is the search by text box, passing the value to this message. And other parameter, I'm not really using this one. And then the Ajax. The Ajax here has the URL that's actually the controller name and the action name. The method TBL conversation is the controller, as we saw here, and the action is the index with Ajax parameters. Content type. Then we have the get. That's what we want. We're gonna get data. And then the data parameter is the data I'm passing. The data type is HTML. With the result, I'm displaying the result on this GIF database data. And here is the input key down. 13 means enter, and if the enter is entered, then we're gonna get the filtered data. It was already running. Oops. Let's just rebuild it and rebuild the project. Has some other type, whatever you want to filter for, and press enter. And basically what we can see here, when we do this, the page is not refreshed, only the partial view is refreshed. That's it for today. Till next time. That's it.